When people do wicked, has become toothless. When people do wickedly, they say go to court. Because they know the court has become toothless. Their hands are tied. They know what is right to do, but they dare not do it. Judgment never goes forth. Those who have money, they are the ones that carry the judgment. And so even when you are being cheated and they are using that on your head, they say, go to court. You shout it, they say, go to court, stop talking. Why are they so bold? Why are the wicked saying we should go to court? Because the court is in their pockets. And the wicked, they compass the righteous everywhere. As if to say, we have told you, we are not about righteousness now. We are taking over. Whatever you know, whether it's right, keep it to yourself. We are in charge.
Abusuafo nete fo ni die kwanso me patcho me mo bibia akwa baba channel so I daily update if you bo kwanso say no first time baba channel so me say ni die kwanso so say news ni we na so ni please subscribe for more updates like and share videos more love so nye videos ni bi enhwe yakopon share na onyo kese abusua me patcho. That was an introductory video ni okwohwe na. In the introductory video we heard a preacher say how like the wicked use the court to bully the vulnerable and I say the weak in the society. Me patcho omobeye niema, that is the your friends, the wicked, enye. We are not catch meters in courts, knowing well say the court was packed by or for. And when you go there, you get injustice because they have influence over the courts. Now, though I mean that is the society in which we live in, that is it. Nonetheless, nothing should prevent us from doing what is right, because I know say all the times in the right will prevail. Even when we get injustice, one day, the ways of the wicked will come to an end. So let us keep on doing what is right. And I am of a strong belief that karma works. Let us do what is right and it will help us. Come December, please, we still advocate for, or answer we are advocating for peaceful election, pray during and post election. So let us all contribute to this peaceful election. Reverend Martey na wepia ba bontende insembi abetuja. That is the substantive matter. That is the issue we are talking about. Reverend Martey pia ba bontin abe complain pa so no chesa akofo de mamu na nye because of the taxes pa wotua osun yanye so osun meme blanye so osun ankasa bet or complaining bitterly on live television, on live show. No complaining pa wow so fan some all cannot just open so chesa akofo do mamu na nye nti enye dia yan to abani ntia wo modo wankasa yan to abani ntia wo be complaining say enye na ade nso enye dia say de na wo se wokọ nti say Reverend Martey say akofo da mamu ni enye dia de wo se ye to abati wo nti busua come December yinti Reverend Martey ni nsema wo ka no so ono kura mpu no e complaining so tua taxes bebre akofo da ne Bawumia ama mu tua taxes bebre. So tax bende de ye be yo mo frɛ na busu me patcho sansem ne twegu wie na Ivan Chenos and Supie Babontin be react to Supreme Court and the Speaker of Parliament issue. Inti busu me mama kasa nyet inti yanko ni nkoti ensem de ye wi ana ye de nkomo na aka na asa aba nyankopon hia no nyoke se kam ho ni nkoni nkoti me das bebre.
Created in the image of God, you can't just be in that condition. If you go to Mark's Gospel chapter 1 verse 26, similar thing it happened to the man, the demoniac, when the evil spirit shook him violently and Jesus cast that out. Now the one who was threatening to kill president is a psychiatry mental, so he's going to psychiatry hospital. Now, these are people who are being controlled by demons, evil spirits. Instead of bringing them to the ministers, the pastors, so that they cast that out, you are insulting the pastor. Now, should we allow demon-possessed people to come and rule and take charge of our society? You know the tax I pay, Osofo. sometimes when this thing come and I see the tax that I've paid, but at the same time I said, praise be to the Lord we serve, because it's going to build our nation. Then when my tax goes, you babies with sharp teeth, you are stealing the money and you don't want us to talk. We will talk today, we will talk tomorrow.
For the last 4-5 years in the the judiciary of Ghana no about the epic center for political your friend is saying activism or partisan activism or whatever, and individuals are busily doing whatever that they do. So we achieve justice now. You appoint, especially at this crucial hour, Alaska, you must act with a touch of finesse, wisdom. Sabaya betimi maneuver way through this stormy situation. Sabaya betimi a survival. That is the only thing you do. Parliament, your friend is saying, judiciary and yasem, a marking the Mercado court based on the court discretion while you are granting that particular power. Speakers on TRC will go back to court. I call fire short. You see, speakers have not the bending in so be enemy a bogu ordinary no. Niama be say na yes yepe asamba court no settle. But Alaska, Ghana near Otinchan has been very much concerned, not because of the ruling that be America. Okay. It is not based on the constitutionality of the matters in question. I don't know, we can only express our opinion. That's right. We are not the final arbiter.
The onus lies.
Yes. Court nankasa power no lie in the bosom the omopenom beye. But the enam who I can in the first place, we talked about the swift nature. Our Supreme Court less than 12 hours. Chief Justice. It's me a constitutive panel so omunko tia asebwe.
Dabio I didn't know 12 p.m.
Okay.
And at 2 p.m.
Good. Now ruling about
what to me a constitutive panel.
Yes. And see that raised a lot of alarm because my culture say a day before no. Now there were journalists on more radio so omo can say oh asem we are by omo problem. These are journalists omo nya lawyers so. Omo say problem omo want to say. I listened to it one guy on Joy FM or say the concern I want to say. And I'm saying similar critical issues so about her till date. Chief Justice
LGBTQ
panel it will be very difficult for her to jump over this issue. Now say oh yes sir, she will cause public anger. That's right. This is a journalist on C law school that ahunyansa who are the way. Now when I was so here Chief Justice na say common sense way a new team. You should be worried. Lo and behold, the Supreme Court defy all odds. A certain panel at the ruling Babontin. And ruling Babontin, the average Ghanaian will cause to be worried. Because Alaska, this is a Supreme Court cultural or making argument, a very emotional one. Oh, Nipa no more constituency, no, they are Ghanaians. They cannot be denied representation in as a forum. And we cannot allow them. Then yes, your fat time machine and you flip it back. A quay nimka can be answer. Ah, Nanya Supreme Court Yana Nanwanda 92.3. A professor Bako any two other individuals. At the court to say the people are more voter regional. They also need representation. Now, our Supreme Court can say young regularizes to the stand said. 2024 and San Omonia representative. Now, Sankrofone, the Sabi Omunya Nipa. That's right. This is according to the Supreme Court logic. Again, yet Akroma Hana obedi jachi question echo court. Court na no ko no Alaska. Yes, ye challenge the nationality. That's right. Na substantive issue no was not heard then. Yentie who say obedi for and obedi bem. But the same Chief Justice in Nkro for tenase ka say ye njante no. E ma ne nkotena afie. Enti
for 2 years.
For 2 years. Enti nipa na ye asen no for the omo de no omo ye nkokọ. They don't need the representative. So Alaska, we yes niema we na beduru sa point we. Now we what is such a ruling bar people question you. And again, and some na koba nyina na no drama bisi wo court. Me sure say nipa Ibrahim pay attention has to do with one of the judges. Uni say abra speaker eko parliament or court no. Na ne lawyer tada sorry.
Exactly.
Yes. Nti omo ko tena sa panel no betena se ya no pagya ne sasa da bi. Me wasem ka ansana even yetie substantive issue no almost assemble na oka o say judge tenten no owom no uhu na ochan adago uhu na babia behu no judge tenten no owom no oye NPP ni enti no ote ase enyeye looking at your friend is saying the sensitive nature and the partisan nature of the issue in question, no?
That's right.
And Mr. Sajaj, you know, MPP, you know, then it will raise a lot of concern because Alaska, we are coming from a background that already, no, Supreme Court, you know, at the social media, man for a already, no, Alaska. Your friend says Supreme Court, you know, a man for a chin of so our social media, a man for a can rule in Abana Bonting, young cotton quartia. Yes, judge back on MPP ni. Now if people thought say just speculate because my town studio hacker. Not knowing say papa ya can say me in the year 2016 na day our whole central or confer form eco contest on the ticket of MPP say or parliament.
Ivan, for the sake of your listeners, near a transfer our court. Maybe say yema amafo. What you just stated. Yentie dia Ivan can yanko.
On a visit to him married. He's done. No, but you see that. No, but you see. Yes, he's done. But yes, he's done.
Concerns raised by the attendant. And I have nothing more useful to add.
Second. Now, Mr. Sorry, can we hear you on your objection? Now, Mr. Sorry, can we hear you
of the president arises from some of
so that my lord on the stream what?
Right to my lady the Chief Justice, to him being impaneled in this matter arises from of the president from some of
so
the
that my lord on the stream what?
Right to my lady the Chief Justice in time. To him being impaneled, he was in this matter arises from New Patriotic Party. The fact that, and in fact, he was a parliamentary candidate in one of the constituencies in the Volta region.
I think you said enough.
And he was known to be associated with especially against.
No, I think you said enough.
From the
I think you said no. I think you said enough.
Right, Ivan. When an Oka,
the Chief Justice and say he didn't want Sorry to expose the man further. And in Oka say he has said enough because on himself 7 Oka no is scandalous.
Okay.
A by a good judicial anymasi. And people know that Nimna man for free say just speculation in room or keke. But raising it at the court, you know, it give you certain credence to that particular session. And you've seen flyers running around. And so what kind of man has a book now can seminar? I bet you why this gentleman was appointed to the Supreme Court. Because according to him, President Akufo-Addo wanted a Supreme Court judge to resign so that Obako speaker. Okay. But initially, they impressed on him to remain Papa na Obiara just obi na Obiara no find say
Papa Jasco.
Yes. Enti okoyoko lusu ye no, then somebody needed to be appeased. So this particular gentleman na oye lawyer there no had to be brought on board. What kind of book na why a circumstance leading to this particular judge? This is a guy Alaska or a known party person. I was standing on the ticket of the NPP whole central to stand on the political party ticket, you know, you need to be a member of the party. You pay your dues and a whole lot of stuff. A member of good standing. Now you ask yourself, say, we are talking about not just any place, the Supreme Court of the land. People with partisan ties. And a yatam no. And so I don't want to talk about parliament because I look at the number in 2023, how he got 138.
That's right.
Meaning, say, the MPP majority voted for him because 137 plus the independent person, you know, got him the 138.
Exactly. And
approving a judge, you know, just simple majority. So that one I can't blame the minority because their resistance they offered then was quite clear. Obiate, but your course what in the coy. But Alaska say anya ubisa ho say there be make say common sense. Very common. Man for can anya common say buo no. The commonality I will find issue be able raise there is certain sense a dawson issue be able raise and the money common and your common say will be a team. That is the mistake people do. So you can't common sense and you say obia will be no, it is not true. A common sense every issue you raise there is a commonality that particular sense in every issue. The wise person will be able to find it quicker. That makes it common sense. And Alaska, just imagine, say, nothing has happened. The nature of this particular issue. Oko Supreme Court bench, and I say, yeah, well, about 14, more than 14 judges sitting on the wing.
That's right.
So the question is, motivation behind the back Chief Justice, when you be an confirm, say, Obia, you know very well, say, that person has partisan ties. About people will raise that particular question. Looking at the sensitive nature of this particular issue in question, and what our motivation behind the more appointment, you know, we catch us a common sense and you're common to everybody, you know.
So it means, sir. A man for now almost to me pinpointed to say Nipa Wendy or NPP.
Yes,
but I was saying yeah with impunity.
Exactly. That's the level of disrespect for the people of this country. And my catch on my bench so mu raise we now here so Rosiana no.
That's right.
Already ruling the way ya. Sorry, a raise and oko ready buy no cast what about we go. Ayahwe na no. Ayahwe na no I say Tesen some now okay and some phobic crab no ontie. But my catch us era we ya wo me. If you think sitting at the court dispensing justice ends there, it means your mind belongs to the 12th century. Yes, Alaska, because that is half of dispensing justice.
It is half. The rest, no.
The rest are getting people to have trust and accept it. Now, justice, no dispense, no, or dispense man kokwa, no, or dispense man moi. So people must accept it. People must respect it, and for people to do that, you know, they need to have absolute trust and confidence in you. And the panel, you know. But there are a whole lot of scandals around it. Yes, young fan say a man for abo boss wa kwakoto baby. Papa no wenya daje wa urema kwakoto baby. Such a high profile case. Why will you bring such a person with such a terrible track record on that particular bench? So I know the day, you know. Yes, it's a wusi umusu kwan so a would not say ha obia stop you. So who took na ukwa Alaska me say obia stop you wunyina. Obia kwase
again. So
wusi umusu kwan so a would not say ha obia kanya nsasam kira wunti onto say ukwa wu na ukwa ji wani so no. Nothing will stop you. A man for more a survival accident. Na ya mom come story in all start here or could be catching and say or pentam kwaku. That is how it is.
That's right.
So Alaska, that's the trajectory we are on as at now. Because common sense will tell you that getting that particular man on this particular panel at this time.
And then raise the public.
Exactly. Especially looking at how contentious this particular issue is. And at the end of the day, a pure NDC. He says a constitutional matter. A constitutional matter na nyam kokwa na de koye. A NDC NPP na de koye tying political interest to the issue in question. So it's not that just constitutional. A constitutional matter wired in party form. Exactly. Because party actors and a deba. So America say you have to be very reasonable and exercise that absolute discretion constitutional in such a way say you will not be in the bad books of the people. You need to sustain and build confidence because the judiciary.
That's right.
For the past 1 week in here, go to even YouTube alone, go and catalog videos and opinions, expressions, and some of and yes, people are just talking about it too. Supreme Court judges, former Ababonti, and they are all worried about the fans that this overdrive. Chief Justice Addo your friend say we no call. Now don't call Chief Justice Payne. Alaska, I'm for Abako. There be a come say when you are in a position of power and you think you are going to live there forever, you are sick. Alaska, because it's transient. You know pass it through. Now Rollins be 19 years and now Shana Wuhu. Alaska, Kwame Nkrumah wa hefa. That is how it is. Stalin and as a foreign Russia and as for so Uba, you leave a legacy that will leave an indelible imprint, indelible mark on the minds and the heart of the people. And then I come and come no. But because you have power, this arrogance and impunity. Now, Alaska, I think that there is one thing that is running through common. She'll be to say your friend is saying easy bossy.
Okay.
Very emotional. That kind of toxic kind of person. Chief Justice is the same thing. Okay, that kind of attitude, no. And I'm sure, say the to me more beer. First, you need to look at the temperament and the emotional intelligence of the person first, because men are metiana may yes idea we are. there are certain factors about me consider. That is why I meant dwell on the constitutionality of the issue, whether Chief Justice in the default or not. But other things,
and the Babs were
yeah, other issues around it, you know, Alaska, a major concern because any Alabama public, you know, I think with the with the court and the justice delivery, no edibu because now no, Afro barometer for Europe, survey. There are for do send a word GDA as much as over 60% of Ghanaians don't even believe or trust the court. We are Chief Justice, we should be worried. We are president, we should be concerned because this is a house and a deal minor sem. Not a man for any. The last time I may catch you say Ghana you prefer so no go parkobo bia than to go to court. No go po. Akwakobo bia than to go to court because that institution, you know, average person any trust woman. So we a Chief Justice, your major preoccupation should be at addressing this major whether misconception or whatever people have about the judiciary, you know. But one the is to deepen this crack, widen the gap of trust, and this misconception, whatever, no, or highlight no, because near more than a dinner as a forum. Now, no, yet is almost almost the Akoshe date is on LGBT case. They say on Babeti speak anyway on the way 7th of November or way Nasa forum. The question they say. Na omunim so mba side on to sasa nema we ACCC. So we should be very much concerned about building trust. And yes, sir, my culture say, Kroma no, we can lose everything. But the very moment we lose our judiciary, no, we are done. And where we are the verge of losing everything.
We are the verge of.
Oh, the NDC is being led by a former president of Ghana. Now, our culture say, or no need trust. Our court to election no ya corner say olusu or we knew on court to Alaska na ordinary person ya me am point judge that me na trust the way we should be very much concerned, and these are institutions of state, you understand. So niema ye nyina is critically undermining state institution, its authority, its neutrality, its independence, and even when it comes to the basic exercise of discretion, I'm for friend the common sense, and then as a forum, way left, right to take the absolute balance. You know, we are losing everything. So I know the day, you know, your democracy, you know, the foundation you have.
Ivan, before you wrap up, my bisa question.
All right.
You want to FM hai? You want the various departments ewaha. Ejuma mimi ye ewaha as a radio presenter wano. I report to somebody, and everybody here is under Obi. In the say, Ejuma na me no. Say enya say I'm playing to the formula, and to the game plan of Nipa no farming na. Me ji this obet me catch say of fire me. But say me wa under somebody na dey na me ya no weche na wo kasa Nipa no so farming so say ne wo ye no me pe. So in this case, you know. Do you get my
yeah, I get you. That's what I say. Absolute power corrupt absolutely. The president thinks to me, and
that's right.
People who come on board no free say, oh, I am not deserving of this position. I am here because of a messy being a ubienya na wapekebe. So all that I'm doing is to please and preserve that relationship I have with the person.
That's right.
So if that means sacrificing or throwing my convictions under the bus, mayor, and that's exactly what is happening because me am here. You can't control what I do.
That's right.
If you disagree with me, we part ways, we go our way. Because I'm not a day. We nyama is our position in me did that, and there is no guarantee says how the mamia nyami jatuwa mean to me did that. So it's a matter of having personal conviction and principle.
Right.
The last time I said the only thing they differentiate here from animals. Our ability to strike balance between what is good and what is evil as human beings.
Right.
Once you lose it, you lose everything. And that is the problem. Nipa yet tam 2 million as for the moment. Mahu is circulating Chief Justice in the Kunuya, your friends say, narcotic board. I don't want to go there because a civil servant will now rise to that particular issue. But the question is, Alaska, 1 hour, impact ben, legacy ben, will live at the place. When you know, sir, and the Supreme Court, said nothing has happened. BBNC will Akroma crown, and the mere fact that President Akufo-Addo attacking the place in Ankasa, I am major concern.
Right.
My culture said over the years, we've not gone past 14, and then we are at the verge of getting about 18 to 19 Supreme Court judges within a short period. Now, at the end of the panel, yam tetefo no say tetefo no kro bi anka ho na no wonderful akoya ye kana say me he came to the first Supreme Court 2023 so 2023 2022 2024 for nko say am no ka say there is a new batch ya line omo up ewo we ya omo kwaje approval from parliament whatever way so we cannot consistently subject such a revered institution to public scrutiny and mortification about that we lose everything, and that is the message the president should get. The Chief Justice as a woman no, should be very much concerned about the legacy she's living, not sitting there and pronouncing your friends saying I have 2 minutes. Now 2 minutes, now we are the first person I've been 2 minutes. This is a seat. Many more people have sat on it. They are dead and gone. So your turn now will come to an end. But the only what you use that particular thing to do. Now empaneling somebody with partisan ties to come and sit on this particular issue, no, Uvri say a crack out of common sense. That's up to you.
Right, madam.
Because issue is that me say to be very honest, it's the number of Sikh and Alaska. You see, various institutions obia shem na wo ye wadwuma, you feel as a unit wo ye wadwuma in a bit to advance the broader democracy. And what here men nya wadwen say the shape of government no won ka ho. What is this particular discourse being advanced here no? It's in furtherance of that democratic process, no? Exactly. Because bit by bit, there will be a bia, no? So, but if you build a democracy and certain people feel entitled, say you're nice in AC, you're not 2 minutes away, ho, and the penny at the bay, fine. You're not what they no. What is the level of discretion now? Oh, you know, does it suit the larger interest of the country? Yes, sir. The judiciary now is the most revered arm of government, you know. About the terror arm of power. The president is using to get his way. Because said a number of says he can say Supreme Court basis for granting S party to Afenyo Market and say extraordinary circumstance.
That's right.
And you're very present, but we invoke your friend to say as party crano, you need to be very certain says a nipa no go ahead no yet that tenor. He will cause an irreparable damage.
That's right.
The question is say young granted Afenyo marking this particular application through S party na yenti on kwa irreparable damage by and cause. And again he cited say government business abejai. The argument in say 4 people who speaker kasa omumfaketi omo poster. Now say as a reasonable person, kasa parliament business will come to a halt. On what basis? Parliament never shutting it down. And now they will not get the quorum. So as an average person, I'm not channel, you need to advance a conversation that will be reasonable to me, convincing enough that you are doing this based on this. But anya sana, you'll be seen acting on your impulses and as at the behest of somebody sitting somewhere. The whole engineer said to advance the business and the interest. And over the years, you know, the entire Ghana for your concern among for this particular issue, you know, it's not because of this matter.
That's right.
Because Akroma and a domilivo issue by President Kacha and say on go on leave. Or we are pamo no can home. Or there's some no court. Say as a abeta brasem no bedimame. Supreme Court waited ma papa no retirement day before they sat on the matter. So recalling him
over 2 years.
Alaska recalling him back, you know, because already Yanti Kroma na NDC in the 6 other political party the EC court.
That's right.
The Chief Justice a 2 kind day.
Data
send the bottom. Or tenancy ma. Your friends EC ya the obey we. Nasa Afenyo marking the new Dimirika now banner by ye we ya abra Friday conventionally no Supreme Court entrance on Friday. You sat on Friday, deliberated on the matter, same day came with the ruling. And you think people will trust you? Makacha oninu atentini bako ye wadamfo. Anemia boa. Ne pension unanimous 11 isha Alaska. Ama I live with the judiciary, the highest pinnacle of judicial power. The highest. Olivuno in a very mad, a very dirty position. And now no make social media or Twitter. 2 things were trending: unanimous FC and then Moa. Yes, that was the thing. Me screenshot on my phone so me the bachelor.
Right.
You ever do bang? People who begin to describe. Your friend is saying your Supreme Court with such pejorative remarks. Ne all transes and as a for them. and deserve ye. Because democracy, we've come far. Ghana, I come far, despite the many challenges in us. But certain individuals want to personalize it, own it, and make it look like, say, yeah, they have power today, so we can use that particular power, exercise that discretion, whichever way. But, oh, yes, sir, now, Alaska, there is a certain way, be a threshold, be a who active within, that's a book on champion. And to be question, maybe someone say, Unim Edoji Tamaklo.
That's right.
Okay, so Ochana Mahama by a president, no, but no, say, Edoji, Uncle Supreme Court, and Quatana, or any Chief Justice.
That's right.
And will people talk in this country?
People will still have the audacity to talk.
Because Edoji cried, there's already on Yanya where you on standing on the ticket of way.
That's right.
And there are lawyers within the party. John Mahama Basisiano say this known person and answer Obia or yeah MP or quite a losing the seat. We are pointing to the next. So sometimes it is about decency, morality, ethics, principle.
And the young say John Mahama Banos Savage and Fikoya easy boss.
That is it. So the question is that will people have that moral courage to talk about some of these things? So sometimes, and then the funny argument this woman was advancing in there. They say, oh, they qualify. Who said they don't qualify? Who said na a qualification and they can't say ma? Na ka certificate I want to pull every them. It is not about certificate. The same the service and Council of State. Ghana for Abra Pia Hende Bawe no so no. The argument has always been more certificate. No, Babs he has the certificate. One any certificate. So it's not just about certificate, but you see the moral appeal, the actors part of it. That is very, very important because in governance, Alaska actors are very, very important too.
Right.
If you lose your morals, you lose ground. And this is the realm consistently. These people without morals, without conscience, they are acting like stooges, being propelled to slaughterhouse. And yet you are more morals because law school never acquire own fanto morals, principle, and these values in for because we are lawyer crana. There are certain ethical way you can violate them. What I say? The same way a doctor cannot be seen on social media, may advertising and so forth. There are ethical. I'm quoting your friends a prospective ways one can how say. But there are certain realm ya creative. Sabi bet me ama value be right. But the idea nipa no nim so or your party ni wa fairly the posters are out. Now what time did about see we say cancel qualify? How dare you?
May I say?
I will come to videos ni bi me patron video ni wantini ubuo kwanso ye de enkomo ni besia. Nyankopon hia no nya okesi. Stay tuned for more updates. Me that's very